Hi guys, and welcome to Nickys Beauty and Tutorials. Today I'm going to be showing you an everyday look that you can just use on the runaround. So most of this is going to be high end, but there is going to be a lot of drugstore in here. So let's get started. Okay, so today is going to be just a very natural sort of look, a little bit smoked out just to add a bit of drama. So first things first, we're going to use a primer. My primer of choice is the MAC Prep+Prime Natural Radiance. Now this has more of a illuminating base. If you want something a little bit more mattifying to hide pores, that's perfectly fine. I just prefer this because it's very tacky. Another good reason to use primer is it just allows the makeup to stick on to the face a lot better, and it really helps nourish the skin. So for me, the more tacky my base, once it's applied and rubbed in, the better. So now that we are nice and primed, we are going to go on to the next step, which is foundation. I use Studio Sculpt by MAC. I'm in shade NW15. Now I like to apply this more with a sponge due to the fact that it just evens out the application. I don't prefer using brushes due to the fact that it leaves a few strokes if you're not very careful. Also, application with a sponge is a lot faster. So you take your product and apply it to the face. I like me some full coverage, and hopefully we can hide that glorious breakout. So just with a damp sponge, it's always good to work with a damp sponge. It's a lot softer on the face. We're just going to pat the product in. And always blend down to the neck and to the hairline. You'll also notice with sponges you do use a little less product than you would if you used a brush. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some foundation and I'm going to pat it onto my eyelids. This is just a primer for the eyeshadow. So this will just help cancel out any color difference that you would see. If you're noticing that your coverage isn't as full as you want it to be, just take a little bit of extra product and tap it onto the areas. If this isn't enough coverage, you can always go in with concealer. Okay. Next, we're going to go in with concealer. I use the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in the same shade, NW15. It's a little pot like this. So just on any brush or sponge, I use a MAC 242. It's just a little synthetic. Take it, and I'm just going to use this to highlight as well as add coverage. So I'm not going to do the full triangle because that does tend to lead to caking, especially the thicker the product. And you'll notice a little goes a long way, because I've got a spot that I would like to conceal. Down the bridge of your nose as well. This is just to highlight the face. There we go. Now that our war paint is on, let's buff it out. you will notice that using the concealer actually just conceals and hides those little breakouts. I don't particularly like to put makeup on a breakout, but sometimes you gotta do it. Well, for me anyway. And I'm just going to pat out my under eye. Now that that is done, I'm going to bake my face. You can use any powder you want. I normally use the Essence Mattifying Compact Powder. The translucent powder that is a compact as well is also very good. So you're just going to get quite a bit of product on your face. This onto your sponge. This just allows it to bake into the face so you don't suffer with creasing. And we are baking. Right. Just take a little bit of extra product, and wherever you did put concealer, just apply that to the area as well. To set the rest of the face, you just take a normal powder brush, put a little bit of powder on the sponge, and dust. Now, while this may look like it's very powdery, we are going to dust away the excess and use bronzer and blush to highlight and warm up the face again. So, now that the face or the base is now down, we are going to take bronzer. I use MAC. It's just I prefer the tone. I've already hit pan. So this is just their mattifying bronzer. I prefer mattifying bronzer because sometimes, especially if you've got a lot of glitter in your other products, it can get a bit shiny, and I'm not one for shine. If you are, there's no rules in makeup. So we're just going to warm up the face. I am adding a little bit of definition to the cheeks, and I will be blending up. This is just a very nice way to add a little bit of definition to the face. Okay, if you have noticed that you've taken your bronzer too far down, like I have over here, you can also bake that away, which is what I'm going to do. So now that the face is nice and warmed up, I am going to correct the little mistakes. This is often how I contour. Same process, just take product on your sponge and draw a line. This just neatens and straightens it up. Next, I'm going to go in with blush. This is just the Color Powder 307 brush. And I'm going in with Essence Mosaic blush in the Berry Connection. Just to add a pop of color. And just blend it out. I like this blush because it's very buildable. Okay. I am now going to dust away all my excess powder. I have gone in a little heavy with blush, so all you do to correct that is take a little bit of translucent powder and pat over it. This just lightens it up a little bit. Right. Next in the face department, we're going to highlight. Now this is from Essence. It's the Light Up Your Face Luminizing Palette. Okay. I'm going to bounce between two shades. I'm going to go between this end shade and this middle shade. So just to add a little bit of pop to the highlighter, we are going to take some setting spray. Any setting spray you have at home will work, even just a little spray of water. I just use my Max Fix Plus because it works really well with pigments as well. Just spray the brush and go in. It's not a blinding highlight, but it just does give you that glow from within. Just take a little bit of the excess product down the bridge of my nose. And on my Cupid's bow. Okay. Now that the face is done, I do this step just to set everything and lock it in for the day. Take a little bit of your setting spray and pat it in. I pat it in because I've got a lot of little fine hairs on my face, and that'll just keep the look set for the day. Okay, next we are going to move on to eyes. I'm going to be using this drugstore palette by Beauty Treats, called their Modern Mattes palette. I like it because you can create a lot of base looks with this. Oh. So we're going to go in with a blending brush. And I've got a Blender 35 from Urban Beauty. This comes from Clicks. And I'm just going to take this soft, almost got a very soft peachy pink undertone, and I'm going to set my eyes. So just take that powder everywhere. Always tap off the excess, so that when you are working with darker colors, you don't just get like a splurge of color. Okay. Next, we are going to go in with a darker shade. I'm going to go in with this browny, caramelly taupey shade. And this is just going to go in my crease, tap off the excess. And a good way to keep the color in the crease is to open your eyes just a little bit. Stick the brush in there. And gently back and forth motions. I'm going to use this as a 2-for-1 shade. This is going to be my crease and my transition. It is soft enough that it can be a transition, and you can darken it up quite nicely to become a crease shade. Okay. just going to pull that down there. Right. Next we're going to go in with a darker shade. I'm going with this nice warm chocolatey brown shade over here. And same application. Except now, instead of dragging it all the way down, we're going to stop midway. I'm also going to pull that over there. Okay. And the same for the other side. Okay, now that that is blended, I'm going to go in with the dark brown. This is more of a cool tone, and I'm just going to take the tip of my brush and dot it in and tap off excess, and just as low as possible, keeping that color. Now I'm going to go back in with this shade, and I'm just going to soften my edges. And straight away any choppiness is gone, and we are nice and blended. Okay, next I want to go in with a shimmer shade just to brighten up the eye a little bit. I'm going to be using these MAC 9 bricks. This is in the Pastel ×9. Okay, the shade selection looks like that. I'm then going to take just an Essence eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to dip into this shade over here and the shade over here. Their names are Grey Stroke and Sweet Green. Okay. Spray my brush because these will just help them show up a lot nicer. Off the excess and just pat the color on. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of the Sweet Green over top. take that light blending brush, no product on it, and just blend. Okay. Right. Then we are going to keep with this theme just on the lower lash line and take a small compact brush. I'm using the smudger, which is a number 36 from the Urban Beauty range, which you get from Clicks. And I'm going to take this warm chocolatey brown shade over here, just a little bit on the brush and on the lower lash line. Okay. Right. The last step for the eyes is to take a little bit of mascara and to coat the lashes. Okay, that is the eyes completed. For this look, I like it as an everyday nude lip. I'm going in with MAC's Retro Matte in Mademoiselle. This is more of an orangey undertone when you're looking at matte, especially neutrals. And oh, that vanilla cupcake smell. I have noticed with the shade that it does get a little bit patchy, so you do have to go over with a second coat. Okay, and the last step in this very relaxed look is to set the face. Again, with my blender, I'm just going to pat it in so that the liquid doesn't just sit on my little fine hairs. Look at that glow. Okay guys, and that completes this look. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please give it a little thumbs up just so I know what you guys are in the market for, and leave a comment, tell me what you liked, what you didn't, what you thought I could improve on. And thank you so much guys. Cheers.